All right, Friday, end of the week. It is December 4th. Let's do some recaps. See what went right, what went wrong today on some stocks and how we can get better trading. You can always learn. Small caps, the main part, 1 to 10, sometimes 1 to 20, these stocks will move. Let's give it a look. All right, HGSH. This is a China play. Now, China plays I don't trust to begin with. China plays, you don't know their books or anything. A lot of it times they're frauds probably. So you have to be aware of that. China plays are very risky. All right, come back to the 5-minute here. You had this move up. See the move up right in the middle. So you get two ways: go down, go up, stay flat maybe. 350. This is a nice little move right here over 375. Then came down, found support about 425, then came all the way up again, 475. Then this is the interesting part. This came down right here, all the way towards about 375. And then it broke up right here. Broke up to 4, then 4, all the way to 425. Now you see this here, the wraparound, your 1320 crossing up. Touch that, see the wrap, and then the low get higher, higher, higher. So, this is a tougher trade. The one thing I did notice though, right here is today's open. That's my green line. So touch there, look at that, almost to a T. See that right there? Interesting. They pulled it. I didn't really notice that at the time. Today's open, look at that. And then this one all the way out to 525 plus. Now it's a quick move here. This is tough. This candle really, took out a few lines there. So that's tough. But once this came back to the 4 line, I don't really like China plays, but this definitely was a tougher play. And came down. Once this, it faded. The other line here, it faded. This thing went all the way back to 225. Just does this before. Look at this. See this? Filled candle. Sometimes these will do this. Sometimes they'll move up and they'll really keep an open candle. This didn't here. So this definitely was a bit tougher. I wonder if let me see here. Is there news on this? No, I didn't see news. A lot of China plays. I mean, it could have been, but. So the one thing I noticed too, watch your today's open line. I noticed that, look, they brought it back. A low here, 360. And this was the opening candle, 360. 1, 2, bingo. Unbelievable. It was early pre-market too. That was at 4:05 a.m. Gonna move up. See the low, but the low stayed higher. That's one thing you gotta notice. And then the wrap around here. See this sort of wrapped up and came back down. So there's a tougher play. Pre-market again. There's been a few good plays, but if you play this here, and you see it go down, I mean, you're not going to let it go down all the way to here. It wouldn't make sense. So that part, that's why pre-market sucks trading. And then this came all the way back up. So tougher move. Go BLN. This is after hours right now. This is a former pumper. PPSI. All right, this move starts from the bottom. And then this candle right here. See, it came back right like 410. 2 big candles. Then came back. All right, you see what it's going to do here. Came back. Then there's your first green candle. Then you're up again. Then we're back. So this is another tough, choppy move. Like, wasn't giving consistency really, but you did have the 450 line. Probably play that 425 line. It's pretty wide. And then come up. And sort of chopped around and kept going here. In the 10-minute, 10-minute right here at 450. And then you can see here the 13 is clearly over the 20 the whole time. There's no sell. That's why I keep saying it's so important to use that. Doesn't have to be necessarily like a stop or anything like that, but just as a guide. Because when you see this here and you're looking like, okay, but it has to let it go through, let it test it. See it bounced? And once you see this right here, it's starting to turn even right here. You're like, if that makes sense, then it dropped. So there are clues on a higher time frame. You see this in the 10-minute. Big move up, big move down. It pretty much stayed. On the 3-minute, a little bit choppier. All right, so that was a tougher move here. Pioneer Solutions, the daily chart. Already had this mapped out. See, this came down to that 250 line, came up, came back. Should spike again. It looks like they're playing with that to spike. All right, here's DUO. This was a better long today. If you wait for a chart or pattern to set up, it'll develop. So I said to move here to 856. Then look where to come. See this wrap here? Look at the 13. Look at the 20. See, it's ascending triangle. Always to your right is the buy. And as soon as you see this, you're watching. See if it holds. And you're using that 8 line, and then it broke up. Great gain on this. You got it. 850 to 1350 plus. 14 almost. And this didn't really have a lot of volume here. Look at the volume here. 45,000, 7,000, 17,000. So to move up here. Back down, back up, back down. And that's what you see that 13 come out. When you see that come out in the 20, it could have even touched here. But see how that your moving averages are riding up. So this is like a guide. I mean, this is a guide of moving averages. Then you see how it moves and look at it. It's touching it and it takes off with it. So that's like support almost. You're not using it as support necessarily. I mean, you are and you aren't. So it's tough to explain because, I mean, these aren't necessarily using it as a stop. Like, oh, if it goes through here, it could still work the move. Like, see this went down through here. It's just more of a guide because these are exponential moving averages. They're moving with the price. So as the price continues to rise, this is moving too. So maybe that makes more sense. So I'm trying to explain it. So, but anyway, this took off and it kept going. And it faded all the way back to 950, no one sideways. So that's a really good long. The 10-minute, it's even better. Didn't even come close to there. As you see this keep riding out, you can play the 850 line, the 3-minute. A little bit more candles here, pretty much the same move. I know it was hold it many times. STPK. This is a great long. So you don't know how far these are going to go. You just don't know. Pre-market, I've shown a little bit of signs here, pretty much straight up. Got the 13, 1350, pull back. There's your right in your 1320 EMA. And look at this. Each line, let's go line to line. Quarter is pretty tight. Keep it 50-cent line on this. And it's a straight long the whole way. Look at this, straight long. It touched a few times, that was it. So that's pretty incredible. If you're buying here, anywhere down here, look where this went. 17 plus. That's an incredible long. And there's nothing in the chart really. Just, I mean, you're playing line to line. You're playing each time, see what it does. And it takes off. All right. LAZR. It's a little bit tougher here. 28. Once you get to this 28 line, and your 13 starting to wind up here, but this will really get volatile right at the open. Look at this. Back and forth, back and forth. As your moving averages are riding, there's some wicks in here. And that wick 28, when you see that bounce off 28, it's very good for longs. It means they're pushing up from the bottom. And it keeps going. It's 34. Fades back a little bit. That's a tougher long there. You know, pre-market, I don't like these jaggedy charts. It's like up, comes back up again and sideways. It's a little tougher to read on that. Soho. AQ Bay, this is the former runner. This is actually a good long big candle here. Look at these wicks pushing on today's. That's today's out down, moved up to 7, came back, and these candles are pretty bearish, like, you know, crosses, but they pushed off pretty good. And then you see the 13 come up as the price rises, and there it is, 7. So that kept going, 825, and then pull back, and kept going again. But this was a main move here. You could have got a really good gain with that, over $1. From the 3-minute. Let's see the 10-minute. That's a good inside candle. When you see a big green candle, then this smaller inside candle, that's a very good sign. It took off. And then the 10-minute, see that? Nice 13/20. PD, PagerDuty. FNKO. Just move straight up. 950. 975. Let's keep going here. This is a nice quarter, line to line. A lot of times just take the chart line to line too. See where it's at. When this hit high line right here, so you could try the back line. 930, 931. Actually, like, remember I said I'm gonna play, if it's 925, bring it up 5 cents, 930. I probably would have missed this. 1 cent. Because 925, I'm not bringing it 6 cents. And then, okay, it does this, and there's your next line. So getting higher, see this, higher the wicks. That would have been good. Then it came back. And see, when it comes back like this, you got to learn patience. You're like, oh, it's going through. You sort of, you're going to be, try to be stopped out. But if you're playing line, there's no reason to get out. That's why you have your mental stop here is 925. And you're risking, you know what you're risking at that point. This is a pure momentum rally. Look at this. Straight rocket to fade, either down or sideways. Here's YALA. It's going to move up to 1550. And this came back to 1526. Then it's kept going all the way to 18. So that's a pretty good long. The initial moves here, that's the big thing too. You see this line? This is over 15. You can do an order like 2. When you see this chop and you're looking for the break maybe, there it is. Especially, you see how this is setting up? It's like pretty flat top breakout. There's another one, CIDM, straight 415 hand. Look at this move. That's where they decided to move it. It could be here, it could be 9, it could be 11. There's the move, and there's the fade. Here's MAC, not great volume here. CPA, this has been on fire. You know, this came out of this wedge here. There's a low of about 450. Look at this ride up. See, when you get this 13 over to 20, how these been like forming these like round moves, or the wedge, and then it's just rolling up. Look at this, just exploding up. Oil today was up slightly, 46. Gold 1842. Silver 2413. Dow Jones up 248. It's at 30,218. S&P 3699 plus 32. Nasdaq plus 87. Small caps plus 42. VIX 2079. So here's another one. When you see a straight up candle, what's your next move in this? This is way right at that line pretty much. So you're either going way back above or right at the line. And where does this go? 1177. There it is again. 77, get in, do 1180. And it took off all the way to 14. And then these two were to take profit. You're looking actually for a sell signal. I mean, it could be here. But see, you want to let it run a little bit more. See what it does. If it pulls back hard in there, see if these hold. These moving averages coming up. It comes down. Once you see this bounce and then start to fade again, you get out right there. And you see this starting to round. You'll pick that up over and over. When you see these moves over and over, you'll start picking out moves like that and, where to get in, where to get out. I mean, usually it's going to be a bottom of your scheme to the top for the most part. Depends how it's running. Let's go down the list here. Anything else? FSLY was nice. Moved up here to 84, all the way to 97. Look at this. And pull back one sideways. To me, if you're in here, this is about middle of the screen right here. And you don't know exactly how these are going to run. That's why the sooner you get in, your chances of either going long and then the stock, you make a decent gainer, or it just does not and goes flat, which is going to be rare. It's going to be one or the other, and then or it could go down, which you cut out fast. So that's how you get a look at it. All right, so that's it for today. Tougher day. We're seeing a little bit change in action, like the small caps have changed a little bit. We're getting higher price stocks. They're doing a little bit of funky moves, different kind of moves than before. The market's always changing. Let's take a look at the SPY. The SPY's broken out of this huge rising wedge. It's still going. I have my line draw right here. You see this and then this. If we draw that up, see it's getting smaller from here to here. But we're staying up. We're overbought buried. Just staying. There's no news bringing us down. Even with coronavirus, nothing's bringing us down right now. Eventually, we'll pull back. We're going to pull back probably. We'll see what this trend line's legit or not. Could be anywhere in here. 330, 335. There's the VIX going all the way down. Still holding that 20. We haven't gone through yet. And what I do see here divergence. Look at this. See, it's this rising. That's interesting. Stock market's still going up, but this is rising. I think, we're getting long in the tooth in this rally where we need a pullback. So we'll see if that happens. If 20 holds and starts to get sideways, at least then it'll come up. That could be a probability too. Here's UVXY. This is a huge wedge down. See this? Tighter. Remember each bounce here? See a bounce November. We're going to have another bounce. Looks like a cross. And there's your 4 hour. See this right here? Going sideways. And see the 2 hour? We're starting to go here. And we go sideways. There's the hour. So we sort of flattened about 10, 1050. We'll see if this starts to move. So if this can really move, the market pulls back eventually. This will go up to 16, 17, this trend line, maybe 18. So, there's a good shot there. So that's just a quick daily on the SPY, which keeps moving. So I mean, there's nothing to look at right now. The next stop for the SPY, as far as, I mean, if it falls, you know, you get the 20-day at 359, 347 is the 50-day, 340 is the 100-day, 313 is the 200-day. Yeah, if we get a really good pullback, it would probably be a 340 at 100-day. It's getting overbought to an RSI. So we'll see in that. But I mean, penny stocks, you're getting good moves. The market just changed the last few days. It seems like we're getting higher price stocks, a little bit more pre-market, a little jaggedy, more moves. Not as smooth as before. You know, HGSH was kind of jaggedy. As you can see right here, to move up and pull back and move up again. Not really nice, consistent move. And I think there was, I'm not sure if Congress or whoever passed that they're, I'm not sure what it was, like China stocks are not going to be allowed on the US exchange, if I got that right. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but something like that, something to do with China stock. So that'll be interesting. See what happens with that. All right, that's it for today. Quick little recap. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a video. A different type of plays. Really narrowing it down. These stocks, you know, from 1 to 10, 1 to 20, these penny stocks, these are where you're going to make the most money. These are explosive moves. And, you know, a few hundred shares, anywhere from 100 to 1,000, you're going to make in a day, 500, 1,000, 2,000, between 500 and 2,000 range. So you want to really focus on doing that. Higher price stocks eventually can do that. You can do that too, but to get a bigger account, I mean, you can do a few trades in a month, you get $3,000, $4,000 hitting a button. So the better you are at these penny stocks, and really just narrow it, really know every move they make, and you'll be able to capitalize. And you'll see a move like this, you know, like people up here, it's going to keep going now. You know, on penny stocks like this, it's trying to play, it's not. Then when this fades, you know, it's a fader. It's not going back up. And the reason too, you know this, because you look at the daily chart. See this? Look how many times these wicks don't hold. Like it never just goes up. I mean, it moved up here, June, July, you know, $1 to $2. But I mean, the bigger moves, they're always these candles are falling back. They're getting filled and falling back. It's a typical small cap move because you have front and then back. They're never really hold throughout the day, very rarely. I mean, they do. You get days like that, but you just can't count on days like that, basically. So, all right, that's it. Please subscribe and like the channel. We're out for now. And go to follow me on StockTwits. It's Mike Kamen Trades on StockTwits. And my Instagram is, where's my Instagram? I think it's Mike Kamen 98. And Twitter, it's Mike, I'm not sure, 007. Let me check here. Hold on 1 second. Mike Kamen Trades on Twitter. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend. Peace.